ever walk into a room and just own it? Like everyone's drawn to you, you know?
Yeah.
That's what we're kind of digging into today. It's like how to talk to anyone, make those real connections.
Right.
And we're taking cues from Leil Lowndes, her book, How to Talk to Anyone.
Good book.
But look, forget those stiff self-help lectures, right?
Yeah.
This is about the psychology behind charisma.
Yeah, the nitty-gritty.
Exactly, the nitty-gritty and how you can use it every day.
Absolutely.
Think of it like cheat codes, but for conversations.
I like that. I like that.
Okay, so say you're at this networking thing, right? You're a little, let's be honest, you're a little out of your element.
Happens to the best of us.
How do you break the ice without, defaulting to those awkward small talk things?
Oh, it's so easy to fall into that trap.
Right, right.
What I find fascinating is Lowndes starts with this simple but really profound idea.
Okay.
People, they crave feeling liked, valued, right?
That's true.
Seems obvious, but she's arguing that really getting this is key to understanding why people engage in conversation.
I like that.
Or why they totally shut down,
Oh, yeah, they put the wall up.
Exactly.
So it's not just about, like, being charming. It's about making the other person feel charmed.
That's it.
That's pretty smart.
Exactly. It's almost like counterintuitive,
Yeah.
Lowndes suggests that by shifting your focus away from your own nerves.
Oh, I like that already.
Yeah, and onto making that other person feel good.
Okay.
Your anxieties actually lessen.
It's like that saying, focus on the people in the room, not your reflection in the mirror.
Yeah, absolutely.
But how do you actually do that?
It starts with awareness, I think. Awareness of yourself and the other person.
Okay, so self-awareness and then,
Yeah, are you genuinely curious about them?
Okay, so you're present.
Right. Are you asking questions and, like, actually listening?
Really listening. Not just waiting for your turn to talk.
Yes, exactly. Are you making them feel heard, even without, saying a word?
This reminds me of something Lowndes really hammers home in the book.
Oh, yeah.
Body language.
Oh, huge.
We all know it's important. We've heard it a million times.
Right.
But she argues that our posture,
Sure, yeah.
our expression.
Yeah, like even those little tiny subconscious fidgets,
Oh, tell me about it.
they can make or break a first impression before we even say a word.
Before you even open your mouth.
It's crazy. In fact, Lowndes cites research that over 80% of a first impression
Get out of here.
is based on nonverbal cues.
Wow.
So the words we so carefully choose are almost overshadowed by these silent signals.
Wow, 80%.
80%.
It's like our bodies are having their own conversation.
It's crazy, right?
Okay, so what are some of the biggest body language, like, do's and don'ts?
Yeah.
What should we be aware of, especially in those first few seconds of meeting someone new?
Right, let's start with something that seems really simple, but it's huge. The smile.
Okay, everyone loves a good smile.
Right. But here's the thing. Lowndes actually advises delaying your smile.
Wait, really?
Yeah?
Why not just hit them with that big grin right away?
Right.
That's what I usually do.
So here's the thing. That immediate smile
Okay.
can come off as a reflex.
Like you're not being genuine.
Right, like you do it for everyone, it's just a thing you do.
Right.
But if you pause, make eye contact, and then let that genuine smile spread across your face,
Okay.
it sends a much more powerful message.
It's like you're saying, I'm smiling specifically because of you.
Exactly. It adds a layer of intentionality, and it personalizes the interaction.
Okay, that makes so much sense. What about eye contact?
Oh, that's another big one.
Because I always feel awkward, like staring someone down,
Yeah, you don't want to be creepy.
Right, but I also don't want to look like I'm not paying attention.
Right, you've hit on a key point. It's about finding that sweet spot
Okay.
between intense eye contact and complete avoidance.
Right.
Lowndes suggests thinking of it as a warm, steady gaze, not a laser beam.
Not a laser beam.
No death stares.
So hold their gaze long enough to show you're present and engaged, but don't turn it into a staring contest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about balance and being authentic, just like that smile.
Right.
Now, let's talk about another interesting technique. Mirroring and matching.
Mm-hmm.
This one throws people off sometimes.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But it's incredibly powerful when done subtly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, mirroring this always makes me think of those cheesy movies where someone's trying way too hard to fit in.
Right. Like they're trying to be someone they're not.
Yeah, how can I, use this without feeling like a total phony?
Yeah, think of it as subtle synchronicity, not like straight up imitation.
Okay, subtle.
Yeah, it's about picking up on their energy and just like reflecting it back to them.
Okay, so if someone is speaking slowly and thoughtfully,
Yeah.
I shouldn't be like bouncing off the walls with excitement.
Exactly. You got it.
Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's like our brains are wired to connect with people who seem like they're on the same wavelength, you know?
Right. Right. Oh.
And it's not just physical gestures or anything.
All right.
Lowndes talks about mirroring someone's language, too.
Okay.
So, for example, if someone is like a huge baseball fan,
Uh-huh.
you might unconsciously, throw in some baseball metaphors,
Interesting.
even if it's not how you usually talk.
Okay, so I might just casually be like, wow, that was a home run,
Exactly.
even if I have no idea what a home run is.
Exactly. It's about creating that shared understanding, right?
Okay.
And that goes a long way in building rapport.
That's fascinating. It's like there's so much more to communication than the words themselves.
100%.
So much more going on beneath the surface.
Absolutely.
Okay, so on the topic of, like, deeper connection, let's get into something else Lowndes talks about. Empathy.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm not talking about just, like, those generic uh-huhs that we're all guilty of,
Yeah,
right?
we all do it.
Sometimes I feel like those filler words just make me sound like a bored parrot.
I know, right? Like you're not even really there.
Exactly. What's a better way to approach it?
So instead of just acknowledging you're listening,
Right?
Lowndes suggests using what she calls empathizers.
Empathizers.
Phrases that actually show you're trying to get their perspective.
Well, I like that.
It's connecting on an emotional level, you know?
Okay.
Showing you don't just hear their words, but you understand how they feel.
Okay, give me an example.
Okay, so say someone's telling you about this like really frustrating experience at work.
Uh-huh.
Instead of just saying, yeah, you could say something like, wow, that sounds incredibly frustrating. I can see why you'd feel that way.
Oh, that's good.
It's subtle, but it makes a difference.
It shows you're really listening.
Exactly, and you're validating their feelings.
Right, not just going through the motions.
You can actually transform a simple exchange into like a really memorable and meaningful conversation.
So instead of just, those dreaded weather and traffic updates.
Oh, the worst small talk.
How can we make small talk actually, not torture?
Yeah, Lowndes has some good advice for that.
Okay, lay it on me.
First, she recommends having like a few engaging answers to those common questions.
Like, what do you do for work? Cool, that kind of thing.
Exactly, exactly. Think of like a captivating story or a detail that'll spark conversation.
So instead of, I'm a writer, it's, I bring stories to life.
Yeah, okay.
Like it. Have fun with it.
Okay, what else?
Another tip is to be an active listener. And I don't just mean nodding your head.
Right, right.
Ask those follow-up questions. Show genuine interest,
It's crazy how many people just wait for their turn to talk,
Oh, it's so obvious.
They're not even listening.
And that kills the conversation.
Right, absolutely.
Lowndes actually suggests this technique she calls rubber balling. Rubber balling. Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more. So instead of just like awkwardly trying to fill the silence, it's about finding those organic ways to like keep the conversation going back and forth.
Yes, exactly. Like a little back and forth.
Okay.
Keeps things more natural.
Yeah, like a conversation.
Exactly.
Okay, so going back to that, networking event example,
Yeah.
those situations where you want to make a really strong first impression.
Right.
What does Lowndes recommend for those high stakes conversations?
Yeah, those can be a little nerve-wracking.
You're telling me.
She really emphasizes the power of what she calls the flooding smile.
Okay, the flooding smile.
Yeah.
I like it already. Tell me more.
It's about taking that, quick, polite smile,
Yeah.
making it something much more genuine, impactful.
Yep.
Like, think of a memory, something that makes you genuinely happy.
Oh, like right before you go in?
Right before you greet someone. Yeah, it could be anything.
Okay.
A funny memory, your loved one's face, anything that evokes a real smile.
So I'm picturing my dog doing something ridiculous. I like it.
There you go, you see.
Okay.
Because that genuine emotion, it just radiates outward.
It changes your whole face.
It makes you instantly seem more approachable, trustworthy,
Okay.
and this is key memorable.
Oh, people remember you.
Exactly.
That's huge.
It's like you're bringing that positive energy into the room with you.
I like it. That's a good trick.
It really is.
So much of it is just like mindset,
Mm.
right? It's like already bringing those good vibes.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got the flooding smile, we've got active listening, mirroring, empathizing. It's like this whole toolkit
yeah, you got this.
for better conversations.
It's a skill set,
Yeah, and you can use it anywhere, right?
Networking event, job interview, just chatting with someone new at a coffee shop.
Totally.
You can use these techniques.
This has been awesome. It's like Lowndes gave us this secret decoder ring for human interaction.
Right. It's like you can unlock any conversation now.
So for our listeners who are ready to, try this out in the real world,
Yeah.
what's the most important thing to remember, like if they just take away one thing?
Honestly, I think it's shift your focus
Sure.
from your own nerves to really connecting with the person in front of you.
Yeah, be present.
Focus on making them feel seen, heard, valued. I think that's the biggest takeaway.
I love that it's like that Maya Angelou quote, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel.
That's so true.
And on that note, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into, the magic of conversation.
Always a pleasure.
Go out there and make some meaningful connections.